Well, hello retro computing enthusiasts. Welcome back to my channel. Mike here. Today we're going to do some unboxing. This is something I bought on eBay. It looked really interesting. The seller wasn't taking offers and I thought the price he was asking was a little high. But I hit him with an offer anyway. And he agreed. So I bought it. What could it be? I haven't had a chance to look at it in the flesh yet, so we're all going to get to see it for the first time in the flesh. I only saw it in the pictures in the eBay ad or listing, so very interesting to me, but very different than anything I've seen before. So only packed it very nicely, I have to say. Ugh, let me get it out. And I'm doing the unboxing outdoors instead of in my office where most of the retro computing stuff happens, because I've got a feeling it's going to need a little bit of deep cleaning. May have to get the air compressor out and blow a few decades of dust accumulation out of it. We'll see. From the photos, it wasn't really clear just how dirty it was, but it looks kind of dirty. Oh, I hope I'm staying in frame. Getting this thing unwrapped is not the easiest thing on earth. Just pull it out of here. Oh, it's heavy. It's heavy. A little dirty on top, but that ought to clean up. Alright. Oh, it's bubble wrap out of the way. Alright, what do we got here? Well, what we have is a very interesting looking case from a long time ago. Let me give you a little closer look at it here. What this is an S100 box. Oh yeah, it's dusty inside. Yeah. S100 box. That's the S100 bus. That's like active termination, which I was kind of interested when I saw that. I said, oh, active termination. A lot of these I see online don't have any termination. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 slots. That interested me too. A lot of them don't have nearly so many slots. At least not at a price I can afford. Got the old style, big and heavy linear power supply, but I can live with that. The thing is, you know, what really intrigued me about this was it looks like it was either homemade by somebody who's pretty good at metalworking, or it's some company I am not familiar with made it. Now, there was no picture of the bottom in the photos, but okay, we're missing a foot, but that's easy enough to fix. I'll look in the box and make sure it didn't come off in transit. But yeah, I don't recognize it. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any kind of maker's, you know, name on it. Nothing. It's not like any I've seen before. So, this flip-top case is really nice. Gives you easy access to the innards so you can swap out cards. So yeah, that's different. The front of it just says Z80 computer here, and it's got a power switch and a reset switch, and plus 8 volt LED, plus 16 volt, minus 16 volt LEDs. So really, I've never seen anything quite like this before. Oh, there's a card ejector ear stuck in the fan. I'll have to get that out. Okay. Yeah, see if I can get that out later. So, yeah, this is kind of different. I mean, even on the motherboard itself, or the backplane, there is no maker's mark. So I don't know. Oh, you know what? This backplane's just sitting in here loose. It's wired in, but it's just sitting there loose. Okay, I didn't realize that. Will have to find a way to screw that down. At least there are standoffs, but there don't seem to be any screws holding the back plane down. So I'll have to screw it down. Looks like we've got there may have been a video card in this originally, maybe an audio card. I don't know. We got a couple of RCA connectors here. I imagine this was the video because it goes to a BNC connector on the back. Okay. A 4.5 volt backup battery. Whatever system was in here must have had a real-time clock with a backup battery. Let's see, there's a few loose wires in here. I don't know what they go to. I'll have to sort that out. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow the dust and crud out of this with my air compressor, clean it up a little bit because the board is dusty, the capacitors are dusty, transformers dusty, fans dusty. Blow all the dust out of this, blow the dust out of the card slots, and then I will think about powering this up and seeing if the power supply works. I don't know what this went to. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to do a little... okay. This was probably a serial cable, or maybe parallel. That actually looks more like parallel. That might have been for the printer. Okay. So yeah, there's some garbage in here. It looks like an eraser. And some bits of paper or tape or something that's all disintegrated down in here, and a lot of dust. So I'm going to have to clean all this stuff out. Get my meter out, test the voltages on it. Make sure I'm getting the voltages I want, make sure the capacitors are good. And then this could eventually become the new home for my Teletech System Master board and any accessory boards I want to add to the system. And I was going to build my own S100 box, but I saw this one come up at a reasonable price, and I'm like, oh heck, I just got to buy it. I just got to do it. So here it is. Okay, let me get to work on cleaning this up, and then we'll give it a test and see what works and what doesn't in here. Okay, got my air compressor out, got it pumped up. Let me blow the dust out of this thing. Whew, I don't know if that dust showed up on the camera or not, but whoa, showed up my nose. I should have wore a dust mask. Okay, that's quite a bit better looking. Got a lot of dust and debris out of there. Yeah, this motherboard is not, or I should say backplane board. I keep calling it a motherboard. It's a backplane board. Not screwed down, but it is sitting on standoffs. I could probably find some screws that will work. Looks like phenolic standoffs. That's old school phenolic, let me tell you. Something my granddad would use. Okay, so let me find a power cord for it. And get all these wires out of the way that might cause a short. I'll find a power cord for it. I don't know where some of these wires are going or coming from. I don't know. And we'll plug it in, give it the old smoke test, and check the 3 voltages, the +8, +16, and -16, and see if they are in the ballpark. Time for a smoke test. I got a power cord out. I think it unlikely that these capacitors are going to explode, but I think for the initial test, just to see what happens, I am going to close the lid just to contain any shrapnel. So let's see, power's off. We'll plug this in. I checked the main 3 amp AC fuse. It is not blown, so it's good. So let's keep an eye here on these lights on the front. I turn this on, see what happens. Well, the fan came on. +8, +16, and -16 lights are all on. Okay. So that's good news. Nothing exploded. Okay. Let me check some voltages. So this is, the wires are not color coded. So I don't know which is plus and which is minus, but it really shouldn't matter to my meter too much. Get it where you can see it, hopefully. And we'll check some voltages. This big capacitor is almost certainly the +5 volt. Or +8 volt. So that would be 9.75 with no load on it. That's probably acceptable. Alright. Let's check this one over here. 0. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. So minus 15.44. A little low for a -16, but well within tolerance. Well within tolerance. It would have a 12 volt regulator. Plus and minus 12 volt regulators on any board that needed those voltages. 15.43, again a little low but well within tolerance. Okay, so that's really good news. It's working. The fan's running. The voltages are within tolerance. Especially considering that there's no load on the 8 volt power supply. It's within tolerance. So that's great. Let me, oh, I know. Let's see that wire there. Oh, I see. I see what some of these wires are for now. One of these wires is for the reset switch. That's going over and connecting up, I assume, on the reset line right there for the back plane. So that must be what that would be for. I'm still not sure what some of these other loose wires are for, what they go to. I probably need to turn it off before I stick my fingers in there too deep and probe around. Turn it off and unplug it. But hey, it works. That's great. Let me see if I can find some screws that will hold this back plane down. Hopefully I don't have to run to Lowe's or Home Depot to find some. Let me look around in my screw collection and see what I've got. So it looks like some number 6 little sheet metal screws will screw into those standoffs perfectly, those Bakelite standoffs. I need some little washers on them. Now the screws I have are just a touch too long. They bottom out against the screws coming up from the bottom of the case into those standoffs. So I need some shorter screws or a stack of washers on top of each screw, one or the other. Get that washer back out of there. To make this work, it looks like probably a trip to Lowe's or Home Depot is in my future to get this thing up to the point where it will work, because I don't want to try and run it with the back plane not screwed down tight. But hey, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy. My cheap eBay purchase here, it works. It's workable anyway. It's clean enough. The voltages are within tolerance. Yeah, the Teletech System Master single board S100 computer is going to have a home, and there'll be lots of slots for other S100 cards I can put in there. I actually bought a whole cache of S100 cards off of eBay a while back. A guy was selling them as just computer scrap. He didn't know what they were. And some of those boards are quite valuable and quite useful. And I may resell some of them to recoup my money, but some of them may wind up in here, sitting next to the System Master in the future. So I think in future videos, you're going to see a lot of this case. So subscribe to see those future videos. And if you found this video at all interesting, educational, informative, whatever, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. And like I say, subscribe to see those future videos. Check out my main channel, Omega Geek 64. There's good stuff going on there all the time. And I will see you in future videos where this may be featured. Thanks for watching this video. Have a good one. Bye.